Thursday baseball, and that means travel day for a lot of teams around the Major League. We've got a short slate, and I'm Krusty Kays here from the Gold Boys Network to talk about it. This is the slate preview for May 30th. I want to remind everybody you can get all these odds at FanDuel Sportsbook. But without further ado, let's hop right into this one. The first one is the Chicago Cubs taking on the Milwaukee Brewers. This is Jameson Taillon versus Colin Rea. For me in this one, it's an interesting spot because you got the Cubs who have traveled, they're traveling back home, so not like a big travel spot. So I'm not really concerned about them putting out a lineup that, wouldn't be their normal lineup. I'm going to roll with the Cubs. Excuse me. I like Taillon. He's pitched really well for the Cubs this season. He's going to give them 5 good innings, in my opinion. And Colin Rea, he's a guy who, he's going to take the ball every 5th day from Milwaukee. But in this particular spot, I just think he struggles against this Cubs team. They see a lot of pitches. They're going to drive his pitch count up likely. And I just think that, the few guys in the lineup that are hitting at least somewhat consistently, like Bellinger, and obviously Michael Busch, who's moved down a bit and he's not hitting as well as of late. These guys can do some damage against Rea, in my opinion. So I like the Cubs here on the money line. Get them a plus money, small dog. And I think it's a great play. I think it's a great value play. In terms of Ks, seen Taillon and Rea under. I don't love either under, truthfully, because both these teams are like bottom in the league right now, especially like the last 2 weeks in terms of K percent. It's more of just that these guys aren't like big time strikeout guys, so it's always tough to back guys like that to get strikeouts against these teams that are like on the season about league average, and maybe as of late they've been worse. This feels like a spot where both teams can kind of get the bats going, truthfully. But I do like the Cubs to pull this one out. Our next one is the Kansas City Royals taking on the Minnesota Twins. This is Brady Singer versus Chris Paddack. I'm going to roll with the Twins. Paddack has looked really good, as much as I don't want to believe it. He has pitched very well. I like the Twins at home here as a small favorite. Brady Singer, I expect him to pitch well too. A bit of a ground ball merchant. We've all seen it. Heavy sinker usage. And I think he can keep this Twins team, in check. But same thing I can go for Paddack against the Royals, in my opinion. This Royals team entered this series scorching hot, and they've kind of been held in check, truthfully. So I like this one to be low scoring. I like the Twins to pull it out in a tight one. In terms of Ks, Paddack under, very small lean. Like I said, Royals pretty K adverse on the season, but on the road they've been way more susceptible to strikeouts. So would I be surprised if he covers? Not really, but my lean would be under or pass. The next one is the Oakland Athletics taking on Tampa Bay Rays. On ESPN, they haven't confirmed any starters, but looking around, I've seen a lot of places have projected as Kyle Muller versus Tyler Alexander. I'm going to roll with Tampa Bay here. I'm not sure what the price is going to be, obviously, because they haven't officially named starters yet. But assuming we get these 2 starters, I like Tampa Bay. Muller pitched in the Braves organization for a bit. Been a bullpen guy, like long relief type guy for Oakland. Getting a start here due to all the injuries they have. And I just don't trust him. Obviously, Tampa Bay, super inconsistent, so it's not like a team I'm running to back. But I like Tyler Alexander a lot more than I like Kyle Muller. So give me Tampa Bay here. I think they can get this one done. If we do get strikeout lines for these guys, I would be curious what they're set at. But I think both guys have potential to cover their Ks if they're low enough. Our next one is the Houston Astros taking on the Seattle Mariners. This is Spencer Arrighetti versus Logan Gilbert. For me here, Seattle at a minus 140. I love Logan Gilbert, probably one of my favorite pitchers in baseball. I'm going to back them here. I feel like it's a good price. I think the Astros get a little bit of respect, so that's why you're getting such a playable money line, in my opinion. Arrighetti's just not there yet, in my opinion. He has good stuff, but the command has been good for the most part. And I think he could probably get his strikeouts here. But overall, this Seattle team, they're striking out a ton. We all know that. But they do see a lot of pitches, and and against guys like this who can struggle sometimes with their command, they can make the day, make their outing pretty short. So I do like Seattle to get this one done. I like Logan Gilbert to pitch well against Houston here. Just feels like a spot where Gilbert goes out and shows you why he's the ace. Well, as I've said before, this team has like 5 aces, but one of the ace pitchers on this pitching staff. In terms of Logan Gilbert Ks, I'd wait for lineup, but I'd probably be in. The bottom of this Houston lineup has been really, really K-friendly, truthfully. So depending on who's in the bottom 4, that would really sway me on if I'm taking this or not. But Logan Gilbert Ks are probably in play, in my opinion.
Wait, before we get back to the picks, I wanted to thank you all for watching. Friends don't let friends watch videos without hitting the like button. So go ahead and press the thumbs up button and like the video. If you're new here and not subscribed, you should go ahead and do so because we're dropping new content each and every day on the Gold Boys Network. We strive to cover every sport and give out picks and analysis and valuable information for free on the Gold Boys Network. So make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell so you can get notified when we drop something new. I'm Brad Thomas. Let's get back to the picks.
Our next one is the Arizona Diamondbacks taking on the New York Mets. This is Zach Gallen versus Christian Scott. I'm rolling with the Mets. Mets at home. Christian Scott looked really good except for his last start. Might get a bounce back here. Diamondbacks not hitting right-handed pitching last 2 weeks. Really cooled off at the plate. And just feels like a good spot for Scott to get it done. And then in terms of, I'm not a big trend guy, but I do know that the Diamondbacks in the first game of series this season are the worst team in all of baseball. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Give me the Mets on the money line. They're at home. I think they get it done. Gallen on the road, obviously way more susceptible to giving up some runs. We've all seen it. Not nearly as dominant as he is at home. So I will roll with the Mets on the money line. In terms of Ks, I like Scott over. This Diamondbacks team, similar to their pitcher, way more K adverse at home. On the road, their K percent goes up. A lot of their swing metrics go down. So Christian Scott, depending on what the line's at, I'm guessing like a 4.5. I'd probably be in on Christian Scott strikeouts here. Our next one is the Detroit Tigers taking on the Boston Red Sox. This is Jack Flaherty versus Nick Pivetta. I'm going to go with the first 5 under. As much as I want to back Tigers, because I like Flaherty, it's a really tough spot for them coming off a doubleheader. I can't back them with confidence here. So I'm going to go with the first 5 under. I like Pivetta to pitch pretty well. I think, like I said, this Tigers team off a doubleheader, and they got to travel to Boston. Bats could be a little sleepy. And then Flaherty, I mean, he's just been outstanding. So I like him to keep this Boston lineup in check. First 5 under, I'm sure it's going to be pretty low because the total's only at 7.5, so it's probably like a 3.5 first 5 under. But that's where I'm going. I like these two guys to deal. I like Flaherty strikeouts here a lot. I like Pivetta strikeouts a little bit. Not as much as I like Flaherty, but I think both guys can go over. Our next one is the Washington Nationals taking on the Atlanta Braves. This is Trevor Williams versus Ronaldo Lopez. Nationals plus 1.5. We've gone to it a couple times. I went to the Nats money line yesterday. I'm going to the Nationals plus 1.5. You got the Braves at minus 215 with Ronaldo Lopez on the bump. And as I mentioned the other day, I cannot trust this Braves team in their current state. They're not hitting right around league average, which is not where you ever see the Braves hitting. And I just don't feel like this team is clicking at all right now. So Trevor Williams, oddly enough, has been the anchor of this Nationals rotation. I like him to pitch well here. He obviously is only going to go 5 innings, but I think the Nationals can hang in here and keep this one close. In terms of strikeouts, I don't love either guy's over, truthfully. Both teams, especially the Braves as of late, are striking out a ton. Nationals above league average too, which we're not used to seeing. But Lopez is just not a guy, I've backed him a couple times, and I just don't love the stuff, truthfully. So nothing here for me in terms of Ks. I think if anything, like a Ronaldo Lopez outs look could be in play. But even that, I don't love it. I just don't love these two pitchers overall. So give me the Nationals plus 1.5. Hey guys, I just want to give a quick reminder that new users can bet $5 at FanDuel on any of the bets in this video and win $150 in bonus bets if the bet wins. Now let's get back to the bets. The last one on this slate is the New York Yankees taking on Los Angeles Angels. This is Carlos Rodon versus Patrick Sandoval. It's probably going to be extremely square, but I like the Yankees. Likely like a Rodon 5 or 6 Ks and a win. Should be close to even money. That's where I'm going to go here. I like Rodon. He's kind of found the velo a bit. Stuff's starting to come back. And I like him against this Angels team who just hasn't seen a lot of good lefties this season. So I think Rodon can rack him up. I think the Yankees can get a win. Sandoval is a little tricky because the changeup grades like one of the best pitches in all of baseball. But this Yankee team, what do we know about them? Well, they're super patient. And what is Patrick Sandoval's number one issue? Walks. So if he's walking guys the way he normally is and you're playing a Yankee team that does not expand the zone very often, I mean, he could be out of there by the 4th inning. Let's be honest. So I like the Yankees here. Like I said, player performance double with Rodon. And I just think Sandoval struggles. I don't want to take the under Ks because, like I said, that changeup is devastating and maybe he gets a few guys lit and his line's probably going to be relatively low. But maybe like a Sandoval earned runs over. I think that's a good look. I think this Yankee team gets to him here. That does conclude our slate, though. I told you it was a short one. If you guys do me a favor, drop a like, drop a comment. Let me know what you guys are playing. As I'm recording this, we've made it through like the earlier slate, and it looks like the plays for the night before are looking really good. So hopefully the night slate caps that off. As always, you can get all my plays at goldboys.com. And if you have a gambling problem, dial 1-800-GAMBLER. Thank you, guys.